Alright everyone, welcome to my Ahsoka headpiece tutorial! Now this is her Rebels headpiece from Star Wars Rebels, and I'm pretty excited to show you guys all how I did this, so sit back and enjoy. First thing I want to talk about are the materials that I bought. You see me stitching, and I'm pretty much going to be stitching for quite some time, so I'll talk about my materials. I bought one and also half an inch thick upholstery foam, which is the green foam from Joann's for this headpiece. I have quilting batting, very snap-off sharp knives, upholstery thread, big eye needles, lycra spandex, special effects white latex, navy and white paint, a head and a headstand. So the first thing you see that I'm doing, I actually had patterned this by hand before I started sewing it, obviously, and basically I just took some newsprint and drew it out. I made it three-dimensional, so basically once I drew it out, I made two copies of what I drew and started sewing it together. It actually became very simple, way more than I thought it would, to be exact. So basically, like I said, I drew it out and found the shape that I really liked, basically made two copies and started sewing them together up the sides. Now, ideally, you need this to attach to your head, so you need something to these to be sewn onto. This whole entire thing is hand sewn and glued together. So very first thing I did was apply quilting batting to the head itself, and then kind of glued it into place so I have something to sew the upholstery foam into. Once I have it patterned on both sides of the Togurita headpiece, I made a top piece that just kind of filled in the gap, and that's how I sewed them together at first. Now that little cylindrical thing I have at the top of my head is essential because you need it to pop off the top of your head and to stay so it doesn't cave in. I am using what's called a Henson stitch, and for those of you not familiar, it is a puppetry stitch created by Jim Henson himself. It is a very useful stitch for this headpiece because it hides your threads and is very good for foam work. Now I'll go ahead and link a video of the Henson stitch to this video either in the description or as an annotation within the video itself so you guys can learn how to do it. Try it out first before you even get into the headpiece itself. Now what you're seeing right now is the very back piece of my headpiece. I did this in 3 sections total. Once again, patterned this the exact same way, pinned it all together, and now I decided I have the look of what I want, so I sewed it all together. That took a lot of time. Now what you're seeing is the lycra spandex being draped over my headpiece. Now do not stretch it as you drape it. You basically just lay it on there and pin it to it. Everything is hand sewed on the outside. I did not remove this from the headpiece to sew it by machine. So I draped it, like I said, and pinned it into place. Don't stretch it because you do not want ripples. You want it to lay very nicely on the foam and is ready for the next latex layer. As I'm layering this piece, keep in mind that you want everything to lay as smooth as possible. But if there's wrinkles, it's okay, because you can cover it out with ba-boom, latex! And I put 2 coats of latex on the headpiece once I was done sewing it. And that's basically all you need. It covers your seams, it looks nice and smooth, and gives that skin-like texture. What you're seeing now is me applying the white layer of acrylic to the base of her color of her Togurita headpiece, and let that dry. Now, I let the latex dry about 1 full day before I painted on the white acrylic. Next thing you see me doing now is the hardest part of this whole freaking thing. It was drawing out that pattern. It was very difficult, but once I got it out, I kind of ad-libbed a couple spots on my own because it's a very organic piece as her headdress is. And then I just took some navy blue acrylic paint mixed with a little bit of Payne's gray acrylic and started filling in the spots to give her that tiger striped look headpiece. I actually really enjoyed this time of her headpiece because I really love painting, and it was the time where you really started to see it come together. throughout this whole time, took me about 3 weeks to put it together. I tried it on several times, made adjustments. Keep in mind, when you wear this headpiece, it is very difficult to move your head. So ideally, you need to try it on, understand the comfortability of your headpiece before actually finishing it and having to go back, because when you get to this stage, it's very, very difficult to go backwards. So it looks like she's all finished, and I'm here just touching up some spots with white paint to cover up some spots that I got out of the line, but that's okay because it's pretty much an organic head sculpture, so it looks great. I realized this was a pretty fast 5-minute tutorial video on how to do this, so if you have any questions, comment and message me and do all the things. Make sure you talk to me and I will answer all the questions that I possibly can, and if you have pictures of following my tutorial, link them to me. I would love to see them on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, anything. Thanks for following along, and good luck on your own Ahsoka headpieces.